Hey, welcome back to the channel, man. Let me know where y'all from and who you rocking with. Go ahead and like this video, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. So now saucewalka and the two dudes that got down on him and Sayso P, they already got them, man. They jammed him up and everything. One dude got found already. They already blammed him down in the streets. The street justice came quick on that. But the real reason why they even tried to target them in the first place was because Sayso P had already issues going on and everything. And basically he did not tell saucewalka and them that he owed the 200,000 to one of the biggest plugs in all of Memphis and all of the South. So what all started a few months back over the last summer. And basically, this is when Sayso P was out in Memphis. He was still living out there. He was still doing his work in the streets. Everybody was hustling. Everybody a hustler out there, especially in Memphis. You know, this is where Dolph and Rollo and all these people be, running their game. They running their trap and everything like that. And so basically, Sayso P was trying to come up out the gutter. And, he had a partner he was kind of making some money with and everything. And, he hadn't signed to saucewalka yet, so he was still trying to get a check, but he was working on his music. And basically the plug told Sayso P, I'm gonna give you this, you've been doing business with me, da da da. And he said, like, look, whatever you get, you got to make sure you pay for it at the end of the whole thing. He trusted him, and basically because they was partners for a minute, he pretty much lent him the bag. He threw him the bag. The next thing you know, Sayso P, instead of like, how all the other hustlers did from all the times before, instead of running it up and then going and getting more or whatever like that and paying back the plug, he ended up running off on the plug like plies. You cannot run off on the plug like plies in this day and age, because the plug is going to try to come and get you and find you. So it's basically consequences behind running off on the plug. And Sayso P was like, you know what, that's a risk I'm willing to take. He must have needed that because it's 200,000. Most hustlers, they getting, if somebody was gonna put them on with something, it's not gonna be 200,000. So like, if they getting 1,000 here, 1,000 there, that they're able to work with on front or whatever like that, allegedly, then that they might not run off on that, because they're like, that's not enough for somebody to run off with. That you ain't gonna really do much with 1,000. So when the dude came to Sayso P and said that he was gonna let him hold on to the $200,000 worth of whatever, then Sayso P was like, oh, that's a lick. You ain't never gonna get an opportunity again to get $200,000. And then he said, and if I don't give it back, that's all profit. That's all like straight profit for Sayso P. And the money, the greed, it gets to people's head, and they pretty much do things that they'll switch up. So Sayso P made a decision. He's like, I'm gonna run off on the plug with this 200,000, and I'm not coming back to Memphis. And if I do, I'm gonna come back with a whole team and this and that. So while Sayso P goes off and runs off, the plug and them find out that, over the time, they're like, okay, they watching his music, and they find out he gets signed to saucewalka. So they know saucewalka is in Houston and everything like that. So they actually was like, you know what? We don't want Sayso P to hear from saucewalka that we looking for him. So what they do is they call jprince and they tell him about the whole situation and say, yep, we got dude, we're trying to help him out. And he took off and ran off with the 200K and try to ghost us. And so, anybody that has like a problem or something to settle, or their chain gets missing and they trying to get it back, they always hit up jprince Jr. and that whole fam. And he explained to them, yeah, it's one of y'all, it's from one of y'all peoples. It's down in Houston. We don't want to come down there and wreak havoc and make y'all think like, why are they doing this? So just understand that Sayso P ran off with the 200K. So if something happens, this and that, and y'all are around, just, have a warning now. So this is when, the Prince family was trying to work things out, trying to figure out how they could get in touch with Sayso P. Maybe they could get them to meet and work it out, sit down and mediate the whole situation. But at the end of the day, Sayso P and them was like, nah, we didn't do nothing. They denied it. They were like, Jprince and them were trying to be like, okay, well, come on, you gotta give us the 200 and we can give it to him, or you gonna set up a payment plan or something. And he was like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. That's over with. So then when they told him, yeah, he don't want to sit down and try to, straighten this whole thing out, he says that he don't know what we talking about. And that's when they were like, okay, so Sayso P, he didn't want to do it the easy way, so now they're going to have to do it the hard way. So this is when they start watching when saucewalka's going to this show. Is Sayso P going to open up for him? Are they going to do a music video somewhere soon? And, somebody was like, eventually they had something to do in Memphis, and we don't know who picked the location, but for some reason they're like, oh yeah, we're going to go to Memphis. And Sayso P was like, he was kind of shook when he heard that. He was like, oh, we going to Memphis? What are we going to Memphis for? And they're like, blase, blase, da, da, da. We got this to do, this, that, and the third, right? And basically, Sayso P's like, okay, as long as we got the whole team with us, right, and we gonna be in the Sprinter and everything, we gonna be in the bulletproof black trucks. What's going on? Because he don't want to run into his old past of all these people in Memphis that's definitely gonna recognize him, because dude is big. Sayso P, he's light skinned, kind of big, and he got the braids, so it's not too many people that look like that in Memphis. So when he came back to Memphis, the dudes that was looking for him already got the drop on him. They must, whoever it was that had the street connection with jprince and them, or whoever told them that they was coming to Memphis with Sayso P, with saucewalka, they dropped the location on him, or at least told him that they was arriving via private jet at the airport, or if they seen them or somebody was booking of some sort of business with them, and through the grapevine they'll be like, yeah, so and so is in town, Sayso P's in town, tell homeboy, ain't you looking for him? So that's when they start riding around Memphis, and they find the car that their people told them that they saw Sayso P and saucewalka in. So this is when they are basically parked right there across the street, and they waited for Sayso P and them. They seen they had just finished up a whole video shoot and promos and stuff. They was down the street from the radio station. Then this is when they was waiting to flank them, because they're like, okay, Sayso P is there. He coming back to Memphis, playing in our face, trying to wear this jewelry and da da da, as if he didn't just run off with 200K. Like nothing's gonna happen. Like we still need that. So the dudes was waiting across the street, and they already had got paid, like, to run this whole thing. This a hit basically at the point. So now they out here about to do this drill, and they see Sayso P walk out with like 3 other people. So they pulled the guy goes off the curb, and he pulls the car up right next to their car. And that's when you see the dude in the hoodie jump out. Once the dude in the hoodie jumped out, all you see is the dust flying, boom, boom, boom. Everybody start ducking. He pow, pow, start blasting. They get Sayso P, and then they run towards him. That's when you see the guy run towards him, and he stands right over saucewalka, and he like lifted saucewalka mask off, and he was like, dang, I'll mess with your music. But then they looked over Sayso P, and the dude was already running his pockets and grabbing the chains off of his neck, because he owed the 200K. So they also trying to get what they could get off of him too. On top of, like, when they did this, whoever sent them, the dude who really had the big beef with Sayso P, the guy who sent the hitters, he told them, just take him out, da da da, and get whatever he got on him. I want the chains, I want the watches, and all that stuff. So that's what they was doing. That's why you see the guy scrouched down, and he's running through the guy's pockets. Then they jump back in the car and peel off, and that's when everybody come out crying and everything like that, because people know that Sayso P and all this. So it's a sad situation. It should have never had to go down, but at the end of the day, this the consequences of what happens And you know, you go run off on the plug with a 200,000 and try to come back into that city. And you know, a lot of people are saying that saucewalka probably already knew something was gonna happen. And you know, so at the end of the day, if he knew what was gonna happen and he still got hit up, that's a whole twisted, weird plan. Maybe they wasn't supposed to even get him, or he was supposed to get out the way. Whatever it was, is that the dudes, the plug that Sayso P ran off on the 200K, he tried to get. He was looking for him for months and months and months and months, and they tried to get the money back. They tried to have him sit down. And you know what happens is when somebody runs off on the plug, they are not going to change their mind and come back and give it back. And so that, and basically because he didn't change his mind, the dude, the OG, he didn't change his mind either and decided that he was going to go full fledged and do whatever he had to do to even the score. So at the end of the day, let me know what y'all think, who you rocking with, and I'll catch you later.